Welcome to the modified version of the Baseball Card Junkies Podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Infuego. And the reason why we're actually doing a modified version is because the other half of the team is actually taking a small leave of absence. She's been overwhelmed with some stuff, so she decided to take a little moment to get herself together. Okay. And I wouldn't want to put this podcast thing on pause because I know this whole thing was ultimately a creation of Adrian's doing. So I figure it'd only be right to actually just keep the ball rolling as if she's still here with us. But just like the rest of y'all, I'm looking forward to when she does come back, we could kick this thing off like we normally do. All right, but a couple of things before we actually get started. Memorial Day weekend, okay? While everybody is out doing the barbecuing and hanging out with the friends and doing all that good stuff that we normally like to do on a 3-day weekend, just remember what the actual day is. Just take a moment and pay a little homage to all those that's actually made that sacrifice for us, supporting and defending this country. All right, so get that to the side. And again, although Adrian is not with us during the podcast or whatnot, if you're actually new out here, make sure y'all go check her out. I just dropped the link to her channel down below. Make sure y'all go check her out, show her some love and support. She's an awesome member of the community. There's nothing that I cannot say about her that hasn't already been said. All right. If y'all looking to make plans to go to a baseball game or whatever the case may be, make sure y'all go to SeatGeek. I got that scrolling on the bottom. I threw both Adrian and my promo codes over there. Use the code and you knock off $20 off your first order. All right. So just keep that in mind. Now, how we're going to do this is we're going to incorporate the actual podcast with a little bit of the after hour show. So I will be dealing with, engaging everybody. So real quick, I want to say a quick shout out to Steve Rademacher, Ripping for Rookies, Lock In 99, White Sox Tom, thecarddeal.com, Collector's Dream, Nikki 2 times. Glad you guys can make it into it. All right. So we're gonna kind of keep the same format as if it was the actual podcast. So without further delay, let's go ahead and kick into it with upcoming releases. So there's only 2 releases that's scheduled to come out for the remainder of the month. All right. And the first one that I do want to bring up is going to be 2024 Panini Stars and Stripes USA Baseball Details. Well, minus the details. All right, so basically, there's a Panini product, hobby box. It's only 1 pack, okay, if y'all haven't seen it. Each pack has 8 cards per pack. And now in that particular pack, there's 7 autographs and 1 parallel or insert to make up the difference. Now, I went on to some of the distribution sites, and the first one that I actually saw it on was on DA Card World. And right now, they actually have 2 formats of this particular product. The first one is going to be the actual hobby box, and you're looking at about $100. Okay. Not really sure if it's going to be worth it or whatnot. Okay. Because I mean, we all know the sinking ship with Panini, but then also they do have another format, which is the H2 box. Now with this one, it's $60, and with this you'll find 2 autographs per pack per box, and you're gonna look for 1 mem card per box with 18 parallels. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing, a bad thing, not sure. You ultimately going to be the one to make the decision for that. All right, so that is the Panini Stars and Stripes Baseball. The next one that's actually coming, well, it is already out. They're just dropping a new format, and that's the 2024 Bowman Mega Box. Okay, now with the Mega Box, it's just like every other Mega Box that Bowman has produced from recent years. You've got 6 packs. You got 4 regular packs. Each pack has 10 cards per pack, and then you have your 2 Mojo packs with 5 cards per. Price is pretty consistent from last year and every other year before that. You're looking at $59.95. It may be a little bit different going either way. This is what Steel City has to offer. David Adams doesn't have it up yet. Neither does Blowout that I've seen. So if this is something that you're actually going to be looking forward to in a more affordable type of format, then this is going to be the product for you. All right. So that is what we have for upcoming releases. Now, moving right along. Well, before that, what's everybody's thoughts on Bowman thus far? I mean, I don't foresee anybody really ripping into Panini for one, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But now the Bowman Mega Box, I remember when they were kind of really at their peak during the 2020 product release. That's when you had your Jason Dominguez, your Lou Bobs, your Bobby Witt Juniors. Everybody was digging into the Mega Box, and you really couldn't find them anywhere. So I mean, yeah, exactly, Lark. And at one point, I think they were actually a little bit cheaper back then, if I'm not mistaken. Anything pre-COVID was pretty cheap back then, but now it's like I don't know. Okay, so that's pretty much what we got. That's coming up, baseball related, for the rest of May. Next week, when we do kick off this next episode, we'll start tapping into June products, if any. So we'll see what happens. All right. Only review that I really want to talk about, and I mean we've beaten the horse called Bowman to the ground already. I'm not going to really bore you too much with Bowman. I mean, it's an awesome product. I've seen many of superfractors being pulled out, especially with the new anime design. So I mean, it's pretty awesome. Bounties have been placed. The bounty for the 101 Dylan Cruz superfractor has been claimed by David Adams. So I know there's a video that David Adams actually dropped on YouTube. Make sure y'all go check that out. But what I do want to go ahead and go over, that everybody is still continuously ripping, and I actually enjoy it, is 2023 Topps Chrome Platinum. Okay, so what is everybody's thoughts on this year's product? Can you really compare it to 21 and 22, or does this one really stand out for you the best? What's up, Dom? I mean, one thing that is, there's a few things that's different from this year's run versus last year and 21. For example, they have the new insert packs where you have the Chrome City packs. If I actually have it here. This is what, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the insert that I'm talking about. Now, with this, according to the odds, these packs, they're actually 1 in 10 cases. And already I've seen people who rip into hobby boxes, just picked up one random box, and sure as hell, they hit that box with the silver pack in it. So, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing that they added this year. On top of that, we all know that the Platinum series has pretty much every type of parallel you could think of, but they actually added one new one for this print run, and I like to refer to it as a broke man's logo fractor, and that's the Topps Chrome, the Topps refractor, which if I'm not mistaken, I believe they're like numbered to 499. Okay, so what's everybody's thought on these two new additions to the set? Arnie says he had them last night, and they're all around Ohio as well. Yeah, they're a hot commodity. I haven't been to Walmart or Target lately, so I haven't really seen them. I did manage to get into a break on Loop, picked up the Mariners because who I'm looking for, they're only on one team. So that's basically what it is. But the breakdown of a hobby box from what I've seen and what Tops is documenting, you're guaranteed your one auto, you're guaranteed an X fractor, you're gonna average about 6 refractors per hobby box, and on top of that, you'll likely get anywhere from 5 to 6 numbered cards in that hobby box also. So that's pretty cool, where I believe in 22, you was averaging maybe 4 or 5, 6 if you're lucky. I mean, there has been some hobby boxes too where where Topps does drop a bonus autograph. But some of the autographs that I've seen, they haven't really been all that great. I mean, again, we all got to keep in mind when this product first released in 22, but it was the 21 series where it had the 1952 set, which we at one point they started out with a 700 card checklist, which was ridiculous. Then they actually smartened up and dropped it down to about 500. Now, I do want to share with you all a couple of things that I've seen on X, formerly known as Twitter. So I follow a gentleman by the name of Topps Production Baseball. And what he likes to do is he'll give a print run of each particular product. So for example, okay, for the 23 platinum anniversary, the approximate number of cards per player, each player out of a 500 card set is looking at just over 28,000 cards per player. Okay. Now I'm not going to go through everything, but I do want to give you an idea of the print run for this year as compared to what it was last year. All right. So you see here, your refractors are just over 2,000. Your X fractors at 189. Prisms are 727, so on and so forth. Right. Now, your image variation. Speaking of the image variation, okay, there's a 25 card set there, and if you really don't know what to look for when you're trying to chase these image variations, it's kind of like with flagship. You got your short prints, your supers. They have that 3-numbered code in the back. So I did a little research, and I'm pretty sure you already know what it is. But the base number for the base code for your standard cards, the 3-number code you're looking for is 112. Now, for the image variation, that code is actually going to be 147. So if you didn't know that, now you know. All right. So moving on up, I want to go ahead and show you all the comparison from 2023 to 2022. So you see here, okay, in 2023, the base set, each out of the 500 card set, each player is about 28.5 thousand per. Okay, on or about. Look at last year's for 2022. So you can see clearly that Topps actually didn't make a massive print run of each card like they did last year, which is awesome, to be honest. I mean, because it kind of, granted, I think this is kind of a sleeper product and it really doesn't have an ROI like it rightfully should. But I mean, with the lower print run, I think this would actually help it a little bit more. So here's the deal for 22. The approximate number of total base was 17.7 million, with the total inserts at 3.6. Now for 2023, we're looking at 14.3 million cards. Okay. And then the inserts are 2.8 million. So that tells me Topps is actually getting something right. What else? Yeah, so I really have no complaints of Topps Chrome Platinum. Okay. I mean, I hope that they continue this run up until the point where they actually release the which I believe will outshine all of them, the 1956 design, because just that design alone is pretty awesome. Excuse me, it's pretty awesome. All right. So that's pretty much what I have for Platinum Anniversary, or they want to call it Topps Chrome Platinum. They're still selling 22 singles. They always do well with wide range of players. And it all depends on the player too. I mean, Arnie, you make a good point. There's certain players that will command somewhat of a premium. Like I know the big rookies will play a role in it. In 21, I know the Mickey Mantle card, which was a short print for that product, that's gonna command a premium. Uh New top five format. Name my top five Mets fans. Let me see. My top five Mets fans is gonna be my buddy Dom, your buddy Dom, our buddy Dom, their buddy Dom, and everybody's buddy Dom. How about that? All right. So that's what I got as far as reviews. Um, I do hope to actually get my hands on a couple of boxes of this in due time, because I do believe it is an awesome product. I have no complaints over it, and yeah, that's pretty much what I got for our reviews. I feel Times does a good job with product that keeps the old players in the, and I agree with that, Arnie. The only, and I wouldn't really call it a gripe. The only thing that I think that they would actually need to work on really is actually putting in those rookies that actually have made a debut into the big leagues. You know, because I'm pretty sure there's a couple of names on that checklist that they do have the rookie shield on it. Nobody's ever heard of them. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on now to that portion where we go over the top five of the top five cards sold on eBay. And the source that I will be using is Market Movers. So let me go ahead and pull up my little handy dandy thingamajig, and let's see what we got. So number five, from what I see here, what Market Movers has is, nope, that's not the one. I'm already screwing it up. Adrian, don't kill me. All right, here we go. Number five is Luis Gil. Okay. And I'm assuming the reason why we have Luis Gil on here is because there was a game that I think he had about 14 strikeouts. Now, his 7-day average is up 132.6% with a 30-day increase of 450.3%. If you're looking at getting this card raw, you can actually pick it up for roughly about $85. Now, as far as recent sales, the last one that I see here on the Sports Card Investor app sold 2 days ago at a PSA 10 for, wait, I just want to make sure. Yep, for $110. So that's not really that bad of a deal. I personally wouldn't invest in them because, you know, that's just a one time type deal. That's just the way I look at it. All right, so we're going to move on to number four. And number four happens to be none other than a Mr. Paul Skeens with his 23 Bowman Draft base paper first prospect card. Okay. I know his first two starts, he went off. Not even going to lie. I mean, this kid can definitely pitch, but it's just a matter of time before the batters figure him out. Then he's just going to be your average pitcher. That's just my opinion. But we've seen a 7-day decrease of his card going for negative 6.9% with a 30-day increase of just under 110%. You can actually pick this card up raw for about $7 and between $7 to $8. Okay. Now at a PSA 10, there was actually one that sold. There's actually three that sold yesterday. On the low end, one actually sold for $134.05. And on the high end, one actually sold for $150 even. So not that bad for a paper-based first prospect. Not gonna lie. So yeah, that's what we got for the paper base. Now we're gonna move on to number three, and number three happens to be Paul Skeens again, but this time it's his chrome variation. Okay, so with this one, we're looking at a decrease of 3.8% with a 30-day increase of just over 45%. You can actually pick up this card roughly for about $44, which is not a bad deal. Now, as far as recent sales, the last one that I've actually seen sold, which was 2 days ago, on the low end, one sold for $205 with 5 cents, and on the high end, one sold for $299. So that's really not that bad. Again, it's just going to be a matter of time before his value drops and people start getting to figure out who he really is as a pitcher. All right, moving right along. We're going to go ahead and move on to number two. And number two happens to be the 2024 Bowman Chrome Rookie Auto of Luis Matos. Now, with this kid, we have seen a 7-day increase of about 128% with a 30-day increase of just over 290%. You can roughly get this card raw for about $51. And as far as recent sales, the last one of this particular card sold on the 22nd for $50 exactly. So not that bad of a deal. If you're into Luis Matos and you want to go ahead and just jump on a graded copy of it, $50 on average, not that bad of a price. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move on to number one. And number one happens to be the 2024 Topps Chrome Black of Luis Matos, his autograph. Okay. This card had a 7-day increase of about 97.5% with a 30-day increase of just under 186%. You can actually pick this card up raw for about $40. Okay. Not that bad of a deal. And recent sales, the last one that actually sold, and none of them actually sold graded. I guess nobody wants to send this card in to get graded. The most recent one sold yesterday for $30. So not that bad of a deal. So you're looking at maybe just under about $100 at a PSA 10. I mean, again, it's gonna be up to you. So that's what I have as far as the top five. And if you have any comments or anything like that, feel free to drop them in on the chat. Or you can leave a comment after the stream is over, and we can go ahead and do what we got to do to address it. But I do appreciate everybody showing up. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and get into the hobby news. Okay, so let me see what we got going on here. My last two sales are on this list. $20 for the black chrome base of Matos. Good for him playing well and cards rising. I would agree on that, but I mean, again, I guess the reason why his value is where it's at is because, one, he's probably done something phenomenal during his gameplay, and two, if it was a bigger name, the value would probably be a lot higher. Who knows? I mean, those are the only two logical things I could think of. Definitely, Dom. I did reach out to Adrian just before we did this podcast, and I did tell her that we actually are going to go ahead and conduct this with her in mind. So I'm sure at some point Adrian will watch this, and all I'm really doing is just picking up where she left off, and hopefully, I make her proud. All right. So we're going to get into the hobby news. Now, first thing I want to talk about, and I think is hilarious, but at the same time is genius. So we're going to go ahead and go into X, formerly known as Twitter. So a lot of you probably have seen where something out of the ordinary would happen during a baseball game, and Topps decides to make a card out of it. Okay. Well, they did not hold back with this one, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you exactly what I mean. So this young lady, okay, and this was reported by the Collectibles Guru. So Topps has made a custom card of this particular fan who got hit in the head by a foul ball that Bo Bichette actually hit. And I think the ball was going at about 110 miles an hour. And you can clearly see that nice little shiner that she's got on the right side of her dome. So Topps went ahead and took that and they made a card out of it. And from what I see, they're actually going to go ahead and give this entire print run to this young lady. And I guess her name on X is Liz McGuire. So I guess congratulations or something, I guess. I don't know. But how would y'all feel about getting hit in the face with a baseball going that fast? I mean, it's awesome. She got a signed bat and jersey and a bunch of other cool stuff. Okay, that's cool. No card deal. Not at all. All right. So the next piece of news that I do want to bring up, and I think this is going to be this is an actual good idea. So Top Fanatics is actually going to come up with a Negro League car collection. And I believe there was an interview that was done with the artist who actually came up with the design for the cards. So I mean, this is actually an awesome type thing that they got going on. So from what I see here, this set will actually be released June 20th, which is a full pack of cards will be available. I don't know if it's going to be on the Topps website, if distributors are going to have access to it. I really don't know all the details about it. But as we do get the details, I will go ahead and share it with everybody here. But this is definitely a good idea. For those of you that actually play MLB The Show, they started out with the Negro Leagues program series last year. They carried it on to this year's copy, and it's phenomenal. Got no complaints of it. All right. Now, does everybody remember when we were last on, we were talking about how a box of cards that was valued at $2 million was mailed to I think it was a Best Western hotel that was hosting an auction at the time that actually was stolen? Do y'all remember that? So, in case you don't recall, all right, let me go ahead and share this screen with you real quick. A shipment of rare baseball cards worth over $2 million has gone missing. And then that's not even the wildest part. The package had around 50 high-value cards, which was delivered to the Best Western Plus Hotel for a convention that was actually being held in Ohio. And some of the cards that they actually had in there, we're looking at T206 cards. We're looking at 1914 Crackerjack cards. Numerous Mickey Mantle cards that were already sold. Okay, so this was a pretty big deal. But now we actually have an update. Now, the update that we see here is the police have actually recovered 52 of the 54 cards that were actually stolen from Strongsville, Ohio. Now, a former hotel employee who quit during this investigation was actually arrested. So I guess it's a safe assumption to say that there's probable cause and probable belief to believe that this employee who happened to quit during the time has something to do with it. What are your thoughts on it? I see you guys are still talking about getting hit with a ball or a puck or whatever the case may be. Yeah, it would not be fun, but if I'm gonna get some type of incentives out of it, hey, I'm all good. Yeah, Tom. 52 of the 54 cards that were actually in that package was actually found. So there's still two flapping out there. Well, Larkin, yes, I do agree. It's dumb to steal them, but it is just as dumb to actually mail them out in the mail, just like that. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. Strongsville is 10 minutes away from this year's national. Okay. It is definitely a felony there, Dom, based off the fact of the monetary value. So yeah, that's pretty much where we lie on that. So that's pretty much all the hobby news that I got going on today. Um, we are gonna go ahead and end this off with Adrian's favorite part of the podcast, and it's pretty much the banter. Okay, so what do y'all want to talk about? But yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know anybody in their right mind would want to go ahead and package up all these high dollar valued cards. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe some of them were actually high graded cards as well. Why would you throw them in a box and just trust the postal service to actually uh do its due diligence? And I mean, it made it to its final location. I'm not gonna deny that, but I mean, there something had to give. Dom, I am wearing Mariners fit because obviously we know I am a Julio Rodriguez fan, and I'm just paying homage to the young man for actually somewhat coming out of his slump today with home run number 3. So that's the only reason. Looks like the playoffs might be decided by the All-Star game. Uh, what are y'all's thoughts about MVP? Who we looking at for the AL? Me personally, if I had to put money on it, I would think Soto has a good chance. Yep, Salvi's another good name, but Soto, I don't know what it is. What he's been doing now, I have not seen with the Padres or the Nationals. Okay, Mike is saying Mookie for the National League. Okay, I can see that. Card Deal is saying Soto, Gunner, and J Ram for the American League. Dom was going with Soto and Harper. Good choices. Good choices. All good choices. Not gonna lie. But if there are any San Diego fans in the chat right now, what happened to you, Darvish, yesterday? Somebody please explain that to me. I mean, I can understand that you have a bad day, whatever, but what happened to him yesterday was beyond a bad day. What's up, Beast? How you doing? Yeah, you was definitely not good. He gave up 4 home runs in a span of 2 innings. three of them happen to have fallen in the third. A back-to-back by Soto and Judge. Stanton, which is I'm glad to see he's finally waking up and he's actually earning that $325 million contract, is actually starting to do big things too. And then I think the fourth home run came off of Gleyber Torres' bat. Ohtani, National League MVP, Soto, American League. I don't know about Ohtani there, Adam, honestly, because I mean, he's not being as consistent as we know that he has been in previous years. But Mookie is definitely up there as far as consideration is concerned. Yeah, I don't. You Darvish, he was literally getting his ass handed to him. Not even gonna lie. I mean, I was watching a lot of the clips that they had on X and Instagram, and the reaction that he gave after I think it was Stanton when he hit his home run, and he's just like, man, coach, take me out. It was insane, to be honest. I mean, it was great for us Yankee fans, but as far as the Padre fan base, not so much. I don't know what happened. They are. Not gonna lie. I mean, I remember at one point when the Yankees first picked up Giancarlo Stanton, they dubbed a three-headed monster between Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and at that one point, it was Gary Sanchez. Well, that didn't turn out too well, but now we're looking at Soto, Judge, and Stanton as being that three-headed monster 2.0. What was he crying about there, Larkin? Ohtani has higher numbers in the big three categories. Yeah, but he's got the numbers in the three big categories, but at the same time, he's not pitching at him. So, I mean, everybody expects for Ohtani to actually be pitching and all that good stuff, but yep, that is not happening. So, since you guys are let's see what we got going on here. I agree, Dom. DHs, I mean, all they're doing is just batting. Really not doing anything else. I want to see stats. I'm not. I was trying to see if I can pull up stat leaders to see who's doing what, but evidently I can't do that. Honestly, Dom, I think Soto's still carrying the Yankees. That's just the way I see it. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I got the stat leaders up here. All right, so as far as batting average, we got Ohtani, Betts, Contreras, Profar, and Salvi. Okay, that's the top five. Home runs, we got Tucker with 17. Well, Tucker and Henderson tied at 17, Judge at 16, Ozuna at 15, Ramirez at 14, and I'm assuming Soto is right behind in the sixth spot with 13. RBIs, we're looking at J-Ram, Ozuna, Bohm, Soto, Contreras. Moving up here for pitching, we got Suarez, Lugo, Sale, Wheeler, and Keller. ERA, Imanaga, Suarez, Assad, Lugo, and Lopez. I got a feeling we've already seen who's going to be in the running for Cy Young. What else we got here? Stolen bases. Ellie. Okay, so stolen bases. We got Ellie, Terrain, Caballero, Acuna, and Bobby. What do y'all think? Do y'all think Ellie is gonna break Ronald's record of 40-70? Let me catch up with the chat. Soto was carrying the Yanks. How about Cy Young? I got a feeling Imanaga is gonna be in the running for that Cy Young. Let's realize how great baseball has been this year. A lot of new names, rising youngsters, been a good reason thus far. Yep, agreed. If a DH has stats way better than the others, I would say they should. If close, I would give the nod to the position player. Agreed. Ellie will get over 100 stolen bases. Yeah, the way he's playing right now. What about 40 home runs? You think he'll get close to, he'll get 40? I would hope he does, because I mean, if I remember correctly, when Judge set the home run record for a rookie, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that number was 51 or 52. The following year, Pete Alonso just came out of left field and said, "Hold my beer," and just shattered that damn record. So I would like to see something like that happen again. That would be pretty awesome. What else we got going on here? Headlines. Bogart. Oh, so I don't know if you guys have actually caught on in the Discord. Okay. Every time something significant happens in the baseball realm, I like to post it in the Discord. Y'all see that where the 2026 World Baseball Classic is going to be held at? I would hope so, Beast. I definitely hope so. Yep, it's going to be in Miami. And what else we got here? Let's open up in the browser. And from what I see here, this is going to be the rundown for the World Baseball Classic. So you got Pool A. They're going to be playing in Puerto Rico. Pool B is going to be in Houston. Pool C is going to be in Tokyo. Pool D is in Miami. Quarterfinals is going to happen in Miami. A and B is going to be in Houston, where the championship is going to be in Miami. So it looks like I'm going to be heading out to Miami to catch the World Baseball Classic Championship. So it's going to be awesome to see. Looking forward to it. Y'all think Japan's going to take it again? Hey, so for everybody who's been ripping product as of recent with the Topps Platinum, anybody pulled any massive hits lately? Oh, that's awesome. Went 4 for 4 and there's 329 with 14 strikeouts since. Only you, Dom. Uzbekistan wins the next WBC. Yeah, they're gonna need a couple of players to actually fill a team, in my opinion. But yeah, so that's what is going on in the hobby and for the most part in baseball. Uh Great minor system, Dom. Yep, agreed. What's up, Maddie? Maddie's gonna be going to bed soon because he's getting ready to go catch the Indy 500 tomorrow. I don't know what's the whole deal about watching cars go really, really fast. You can do that every day when you get in your car, going to work or whatever. Nowadays, you don't have to be from that country to play for them. I see where you're coming from with that, Adam, and they did. I think I forgot what player uh that actually occurred. Um I forgot who it was, but this particular player had Puerto Rican roots that go back to his grandmother, if I'm not mistaken. But apparently, some of the higher ups for the WBC deemed that a no go, so they had him play for Team America anyway. So, well, hopefully you have fun tomorrow at the Indy 500 there, Maddie. We are going to definitely see some people take the bench if they decide to partake in the WBC too. I mean, that would be a smart thing. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the club owners. I mean, I don't I don't foresee it actually being a thing because I know a lot of these teams are all for allowing their players to play baseball in a kind of I'm gonna deem it a recreational tournament in support of their home country. So I mean, I would think they would put them on ice for a little bit, but I would hope at the same time those players that are actually participating would not put forth max effort as if they're looking for a spot in the World Series either. So it's I guess you could consider it like a give and take. We'll let you play. We just need you to take every extreme measure to keep yourself safe so that we can get you back in good health. But, we'll see what happens. We got a whole year and a half before it even comes up. You think so, Larkin? What makes you say that? Because I mean, I know, I know, like during the All Star game. Okay, because I know a lot of the players that go into the All Star break on a slump, they kind of use the All-Star game if they're participating in it as a way to refine their mechanics and everything like that, and they use that as a method to try to get better. Okay, fair enough. I mean, because I look at last year when J-Rod was participating in the home run derby, he was making it rain home runs during the derby, and I believe he took that and went off on a tear for the remainder of the damn season. But I guess it's not for everybody. I don't know. We'll just have to see and wait and see what happens, to be honest. But yeah, so a couple of things that if y'all have not had the opportunity to check it out. So Adrian recently just dropped another PSA reveal. I'm going to drop the link in the chat below. There was a couple of Stellar cards that were actually in that reveal. I think she did a total of 14, if I'm not mistaken. 2 of them were actually mine. But there was some pretty big boy stuff in there. And she did have a couple of upcharges. That's the word I'm looking for. She had a couple of upcharges in there, which is always a good thing, I guess, if you want to deem it as such. So I don't know. But yeah, go check that video out. Let her know what you think about it. And I believe some of the cards in there, I know I had some stuff. She got some stuff in there from some guys at work. I believe Adam had a few items in that reveal. I don't remember exactly for sure, but yeah, it was a good reveal. And then yesterday I did drop a short of 2 pickups that I got into. One of them was I got it right here actually. This 2023 Topps logo fractor of Julio, numbered to 75 by way of Beast. So I do appreciate that, Beast. That was awesome. Yeah, if anybody comes across any J-Rock cards that are graded or whatnot, hey, let me know, and we could definitely work something out. That's just the way I look at it. What about... And this is why we don't talk about anything other than baseball there, Tom, for reasons such as what you have there. $1,800 for a product that the return on investment would be substantially embarrassing. I mean, that's just what I think. There was some actual other news that was going on within the hobby that I believe I forgot to mention. Like, I know there was an instance where some cards were confiscated at the border. That was one instance. And then I believe that there was another instance where stolen cards were retrieved by the FBI, if I'm not mistaken. I'd actually have to look for that article. I don't remember exactly where it is. But yeah, it's getting crazy in the hobby. Fanatics froze out another distributor. Good. Glad to see it. $18 worth of cards for $1,800. Yep, sign me up. I agree there, Adam. Ain't gonna happen on my watch. I mean, hell, as beautiful as Topps Transcendent is, I believe this year's product was running roughly about $25,000. You're not going to get $25,000 or close to it in return. That's just not going to happen. I mean, honestly, you'll be lucky if you break $5,000, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I forgot the name of the distributor that actually got shot down by Fanatics. I don't recall who it was. CJ Stroud card. Yeah, I mean, I I've always questioned why is it that the hobby, well, the business of collecting sports cards solely gravitates more towards football and basketball with these ridiculous sales valuations and everything. Like, I mean, I watch If Sports Cards every Monday morning when he does his top 10, and it just makes me cringe to see where if somebody was to pull like a CJ Stroud or a Victor Wembanyama, and he's talking about that the estimate is roughly like in the five figures. It just kills me. I don't understand it. I really do not. It makes no sense to me. But then again, I do try to keep in mind that with today's generation, a lot of them, these kids or young adults, if you will tend to look at football and basketball more favorably because I guess it's a little more exciting, if you will. Yep, I agree with you there, Nikki. Football and basketball are solely developed for investment purposes. But what did these sports do to earn that notoriety is my question. You know, I mean, now if we're talking about if we was in the 90s era and we was having this discussion, I can understand to a certain extent. You know, like I know recently a PSA 9 Jordan rookie card actually sold for $925,000. That is insane. I mean, granted, you do have some baseball holy grails that go for that much. Some of them may actually go for more, you know, but I mean, you're not really seeing any ultra modern in baseball going for that much unless I mean there's always exceptions like uh the Drew Jones superfractor. Clearly that went for $1 million because a distributor actually put a bounty on it. So automatically everybody was under the assumption that's what the card is worth. And where is the kid at now? Where is the value of that card now? Okay. What is David Adams thinking about now, knowing that this kid is really not doing so well playing? Jordan cards went crazy because yeah, I mean, rightfully so. I mean, we're talking about an era where basketball was really basketball, not this hanky panky stuff that they got going on today with all these rule changes. Um, it's not as physical as it used to be. So, I mean, the sport of basketball just got soft over the years, which is why I kind of fell out of love with it. You know, I don't even really think about basketball anymore. I couldn't even tell you who's on the Knicks starting five, to be honest. But I don't know. I will stick to baseball. I'll stick to with what I know and what I love. You know, you've got those individuals that dabble with all these other crazy sports. I love opening football. I open very little basketball. See, and again, that's everybody's little pet peeve. You got some that solely stick to one sport, and you've got others that get into all the sports. You've got some that are now starting to get into TCG. TCG is getting ready to blow up, in my opinion. It was just a matter of time before Mike advertises a Pokemon break or something like that. Who knows? Maybe you see Arnie, he's starting to sell Magic the Gathering blaster boxes on his website. Yeah. Like, I mean, I remember maybe 20 years ago, I did get into Yu-Gi-Oh with my kids at one point. We wasn't doing the whole flipping and investing and anything like that. We was actually picking up the cards to actually play the game, because I know Yu-Gi-Oh is huge in Japan, just like Pokemon is. But when I was stationed in Camp Lejeune out of North Carolina, every Saturday morning we would actually make a trip down to our local Books a Million, where they would hold these Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, and the kids would just go out there and just have a blast, just competing with kids, doing trades. I would get in on some of the little tournaments that they had out there. It was a good time. Arnie, don't knock it till you try it. You never know, if you pick up that super fractor Pikachu, it'll probably be your new pet peeve. So, but again, I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to a league of her own, Adrian, who um couldn't be with us today because she's got some things that she needs to handle personally, and I'm pretty sure everybody can agree we wish nothing but the best for her, and hopefully she comes back soon, speedy recovery, and we get back to having the team together, and we can actually give you guys the podcast that you rightfully deserve. I'm just doing this because at one point Adrian actually made an announcement that the podcast was going to be on pause for a little bit, and I know for a fact it kind of broke her heart just saying that, because she's put so much time, effort into getting it to where it is right now. And let me be I will be the first one to say the podcast would not be as successful as it is without Adrian taking the wheel. To be honest, I was just here for the ride. Yeah, I did partake in a little bit of putting everything together, but ultimately all the credit is going to go to Adrian, because this was her baby. She invited me to team up with her to do it. I, you know, took it as an honor and accepted the invite. We've been doing it now for over a year. I don't think it would be fair to her to just put it on pause. So I mean, uh, honestly, I do appreciate all you guys coming in and accepting the podcast for what it is right now. I'm doing the best that I can to try to give you the same as if both of us was actually doing it. I'm taking the after hour show, taking the podcast, putting it all together, and trying to make it exciting for everybody. So, yeah, Adrian, if and when you decide to do watch this, just know that you are missed. We do think about you, and we do wish you a speedy recovery. But yeah. So, other than that, that's pretty much all I have, gents. Any last comments we want to go ahead and hash out? Well, I do appreciate everybody showing up. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought about a one-man show type podcast. I don't expect to. The way I look at it, I got some pretty big shoes to fill. Okay, so hey Kenny, how you doing? But yeah, so I appreciate everybody hanging out, and I will catch everybody on YouTube land. I don't know who else is going to be going live tonight. If they are going live, make sure y'all go check them out. Show them that support that they rightfully deserve or whatnot. We all here trying to help each other out, grow this thing that we love together. And I will catch everybody on the next go around. Have a good night.